Alrighty, gentlemen, we are back, as you can see, with another PUA, or as I like to call them, rejection artist scammers video. And it's another clip from a interview when these two dickheads were carrying on trying to tell you how, if you do and say the right things, that you can actually create attraction in any woman. You can be a 2 out of 10, not Hunchback of Notre Dame, Quasimodo man, and she can be an 8 out of 10 Stacey, and all you got to do is say and do the right things, and she'll magically become attracted to you, and then you can date her, you can marry her, you can do whatever you like. So I've missed a couple of clips that they've released. It's good that they've done this. They've done a bit of work for me instead of me time stamping things and having to just do the whole 2 hour interview. That's how full of shit these guys are. They can talk absolute tripe for 2 hours and still not fucking say anything that's of any importance. But the title of this video that they are making here, this little clip, is how to flip the script on women so they pursue you. Now if you're a bit of a red pill or blue pill guy, you might read that and think, oh geez, great, fantastic idea. This is all I've been missing. I need to know how to press all these emotional buttons so I can get them to pursue me. Now, I'm going to give you some unfortunate news if you're one of them people that believes that. You cannot create attraction in a lady under any circumstances unless she likes the way you look. Now, you can't say and do the right, or what they call the right things, to flip a script and make them pursue you and make them think that you're some kind of, millionaire Brad Pitt guy when you're not. It doesn't work that way. And it's never worked that way. What these dickheads here are selling is nothing but a scam. All these guys want is your money. They know this stuff doesn't work. These guys have been around long enough. They know this shit doesn't work, all right? So I'm curious to see. I haven't watched this one before. I've only played a little bit of it, so I tested the recording to make sure things are working. Played about 30 seconds of it. I don't know what they're going to say, but I'm sure they're going to have some absolute gems of information to turn your dating life around, gentlemen. Okay, so you better listen up. So if you've always wanted that hot, beautiful Stacey down the street that you see every time you go out, you got to learn how to flip the script. Fucking clowns! You cannot do that. How are they still getting away with trying to tell fucking blokes that you can say and do the right things to create attraction in someone that doesn't like you? You just cannot do it. If the first time you lock eyes with a Sheila, in that 13 milliseconds, her subconscious brain has already scanned you up and down and has decided, it's using her primitive firmware that's still in the deep parts of the brain, that decides for her whether she's attracted or not. And the common denominator of attraction is looks, particularly, or exactly, not particularly, exactly, it's a man's face. I've seen little skinny beanpoles, good looking faces, clean up with women. It's not muscles and shit like that. Don't let these alpha gurus tell you, I'll just go to the gym. I went to the gym. I started lifting weights at 12 years old. At 20 years old, I had 19.5-inch biceps, 19.5-inch arms, and women didn't give a fuck about it. They didn't give a shit. But a little skinny guy in the gym, a little pigeon-chested runt with a chiseled jaw and a good-looking face, I remember one guy there, he was never without a lady. So I can tell you now, mate, if you're an ugly bloke that just hits the gym and gets ripped, you'll just be a ripped ugly bloke. Anyway, enough waffling on. let me press play, and of course I'll pause and interject whenever I see fit, and let's see what little fucking nuggets of gold these dickheads are going to drop tonight for us.
CG says, I've always been in shape, triathlete body. When people ask how I'm so strong or fast, or how they ask how strong or fast I am, I genuinely say, I don't know. When learning game, can playing dumb and coming across as being a natural be more beneficial as well?
Well,
Yeah. Before bloody dickhead, bloody mystery, the creepiest looking idiot fucking around. Oh, just you'll see how he dresses. The idiot's wearing safety glasses. I was re-watching one of the bloody piss takes on him the other day, and I'm thinking, what kind of insane man walks around just with safety glasses on, thinking it's peacocking, trying to teach guys that you can peacock, paint your nails and peacock and wear all this weird shit, and that's going to automatically bypass your ugly looks and get a woman to come over and start talking to you. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You know why? How I know it doesn't work? Because I firsthand, and I'm embarrassed to admit this, I used to go out and peacock around about mid to 2005, 2006, because I genuinely believed this stuff was going to help me, was going to cure my loneliness, and I could find a girlfriend and wife, settle down and have kids. So I'm not just some, not just some schmuck off the street just trying to rip these guys apart. I'm so pissed off that they wasted so many years of my fucking life and so many years of genuine good guys out there's lives trying to teach you all this shit that you and me and they all know does not work. So this poor bastard here says, when learning game doesn't exist. It's not something you can learn. It's only looks. Can playing dumb and coming across as being natural be more beneficial? I kind of know what this guy's getting at here, but it doesn't matter. Playing dumb doesn't matter. It's there's no such thing as coming across as being a natural. It's as much as I'm going to sound like a broken record. It's all looks, gentlemen. It really is looks. You're going to look like a natural if you're good looking. You can say whatever the fuck you like. It reminds me of a mate I used to go out with. I used to actually train in a gym and do a bit of martial arts with him. I'm not going to say his name. Even if I did say his first name, you'd never find him or find me or anything like that. But I take people's right to privacy very seriously. And unless someone has given me explicit permission to say their name or whatever, or town they live in, all that shit, on YouTube or any kind of public platform, I won't do it. So we'll just call him Jack. Now I'll tell you a bit about Jack. Oh, he comes across as like the general kind of Aussie larrikin, loves a bit of banter, loves a bit of a joke kind of guy. Not the sharpest tool in the shed, but fortunately for old Jack, he's a white guy, quite tall. He's 6'3" tall, and whenever he went out, he always dressed to the nines, and he wore these he liked wearing expensive shoes. The guy was making fairly good money. Once again, I'm not going to say what kind of job, but it was a trade, but not the standard trades as you think of. It's more of a trade in the food business. I'll say that much. So he liked to spend money on his clothes, and with these shoes, he'd always wear like heel shoes, and he'd come out to be about 6'4" tall, and facially probably about a 6 out of 10 high tier normie. Not Chad Light, but about a high tier normie. But around, it was fairly socially awkward around Sheila's. Well, if you're not from Australia, Sheila's, we say Sheila's when we mean women. So you might hear me start saying a bit more Aussie slang more on this channel. And it's up to you guys to learn it, because I can say a lot of Aussie slang and get away with saying, different words. I'll leave it up to you, Yankees and Brits, and all the Brits kind of know what I'm on about, but the Yankees and Canadians and all that Europeans, to culturalise yourself. So whenever I say Sheilas, I'm talking about women. There's always a little bit shy and timid around them. So whenever we'd go out, he'd normally only ever pick up if I put him onto someone that was checking him out. So he kind of needed like my go ahead to approach, but after that it was like game over, done and dusted, sealed deal. He's going to get laid. And like he was trying this like PUA stuff as well as me, and of course he'd memorise a few lines and this and this and that. But he'd always get a little bit nervous around the Sheilas, and he'd stutter and stammer his words a fair bit. And I seen him go up to some like decent looking women. I thought, oh, that probably look smashed with him, and try the PUA stuff. Did not work to save his life. But whenever I noticed, I remember 3 times that he pulled. I remember this once. It was a quite attractive blonde girl. I think he was about 28. She was 32 or 33. And she was at the other end of the bar, this pub we were at, and she was just fixated on him, just staring him up and down, giving him pub. Stop that, cat! You'll bloody if you turn the computer off, I'll be pissed. Stop it. Sorry about that. The cat's playing with the cord, the headphone cord. Stop it. Sit down. Where was I? Yeah, this girl was stop it. Was looking him up and down, and I said, "Hey Jack, there, that Sheila there hasn't stopped checking you out for about 5 minutes." It was like, "Oh, where, who is it? Who is it? Oh, are you sure she's doing it? Are you sure?" I was saying, "Yeah, mate, she's looking you up and down. She's got a smile stuck to her face. Just go over and say g'day." And so I told him that. He checked her out. He was, obviously past his looks test. And he went over and talked to her, and it was game over. And he went over there, and I could overhear him a little bit. He wasn't doing any of the PUA stuff. He was just saying, "Oh, g'day, how you going? Oh, did you watch the supercars on the weekend and the V8s? Do you just talking?" What these PUAs would say, saying the wrong things, and he couldn't put a foot wrong. He was saying all the wrong things according to these guys, and could not put a foot wrong, because this Sheila here liked the look of him. And like after you've been BP, you can kind of take a look back through your life and see where it makes so much sense. Like even though he was like fairly tall, good looking guy, with this PUA stuff, he still couldn't go up to any woman he wanted and create attraction in her brain. If she didn't already like the look of him from the second that she laid eyes off him, it was game over. Even this like tall, good looking guy could not do it. So it's all looks. So when learning game, you can't learn game. Game's a fallacy. Game doesn't exist. Can you play dumb and coming across natural? It doesn't make. The more I think about it, it doesn't make. I know what playing dumb means, but I know what they're saying. Can you like come across as being a natural, which means really don't say any pickup lines, just kind of be a bit assertive, dominant, and confident. Like it's more what the alpha gurus try to preach than the traditional PUAs. Can it be beneficial as well? No, it can't. My opinion on that, on this statement, it's highlighted in orange. No, it can't. Game doesn't exist. You can act any way you fucking like, mate. If the girl doesn't like the look of you, game over. Let's see what these dickheads have to say.
As a joke, I'll say I don't know why women find me attractive. They just seem to.
Look at the arrogance of this fucking dickhead. I don't know why women find me attractive. They just seem to. No, they don't, mate. They do not. Maybe in your heyday when you were, in your 20s and 30s. Maybe the odd older woman might now, mate. But, yeah. Absolute narcissists these guys are. That's how they can take your money and sleep well at night. They've got narcissistic personality disorder. They feel no empathy.
I wasn't given an instruction book on how to be human.
I was telling
that's
Kyle.
gaslighting.
I was telling Kyle like before,
the cheek of this bastard. That's gaslighting. coming from the king of gaslighting. Hypocrite?
Because I've met Owen Cook several times now and hung out with him a few times.
He was out yesterday.
Just yesterday, and
right,
like when
in
I
the
was,
club.
I just mentioned another rejection artist here called Owen Cook. Now, this guy has to be the most narcissistic COCK sucker I have ever seen in my life. But I will do. He'll need a bloody 5-part special from me, this Owen Cook guy. He goes by the pseudonym Tyler Durden. And his main claim to fame thing is how to pass SHIT tests from women. And crap tests, I'll call them. Crap tests from Sheila's aren't meant to be passed. If you're getting crap tests, that means the woman doesn't like you and you should find any excuse to leave. Wish her a good night and go back to your friends. Try a different girl.
I was like, I can remember seeing Owen doing his RSD videos like on South Beach. I'm like, who the hell is fucking this guy? Right? Because I'm looking at the dude, I'm like, he looks like, ginger, like Santa Claus, right? I'm like, who the fuck? And then I watched him.
I can tell you that pretty much no one's fucking this guy unless he's paying them to.
Demo it.
Yeah.
And I watched him here at Resorts World, walking around Resorts World with Mike and Tristan. I'm like, I get it.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Piss off.
I totally understand.
Well, I took him under my wing for a good year.
Yeah, you took him under your wing and taught him this industry, the old tricks of the trade in scamming people.
Or longer. He helped out with boot camps as well, so he got a lot of experience. We were in field a lot together. I've seen him perform some miraculous pickups.
No, you haven't, mate. You haven't seen him perform any. You can't pick up. You cannot go and pick up a lady that doesn't find you attractive. And I'll say this until every guy that watches this believes it. You cannot do it.
Very talented in field.
Yeah.
And you can tell by his character in his very wordy rants on YouTube that he's found his voice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's something that he didn't have prior to meeting me, prior to pickup.
Oh yeah, you're the bloody second coming of Jesus Christ, are you, buddy? Me. Listen to him. Me. Look how self-centered these narcissists are. These narcissist rejection artists. Geez, they really came on a big money-making scam, didn't they, when they came across this PUA thing? They would have had a little chuckle of themselves. Oh, yeah, I can make millions and millions selling innocent suckers all this crap.
Right. I think pickup, when you get some good reference experiences, meaning you start winning the game, it builds your confidence up, and makes you...
Well, you can't win the game because game doesn't exist. And what builds your confidence up? Having success with the ladies. How do you have success with the ladies? You've got to be a good-looking guy. And that's it.
Express yourself in a more complete manner.
So, do you think he's right? Like, play a sucker to catch a sucker, like down.
With this question here,
I don't know why I'm so attractive.
It's just gaslighting to say, I don't. What I've done also is there are two narrative arcs to choose from. Either you're pursuing the girl or the girl's pursuing you. I've chosen the girl to pursue me.
Oh yeah, here we go. Like I was saying at the start of the video, you cannot just manifest it in your mind for a girl to pursue you. And you cannot go and cold approach. Not that you should ever cold approach anyone that doesn't give you... If you're not getting choosing signals, don't go and do it. Trust me from experience, getting in trouble with the law and everything like that. Trust me, you do not want to cold approach a woman that doesn't give you the green light to do it. Trust me. Yeah. I'll let this play for a bit longer. I know I've stopped it and talked a bit, but I'm going to let this cheese stick here talk a little bit about how he claims that you can make a girl chase you.
And I'm the prize, right? That's just a metaphor. But
thank you for saying that too, because too many people take that too fucking seriously.
But that changes the game. It's a game changer to have her chase you. So
hear that? Okay, 5'4" balding Indian janitor, sub-5 Indian janitor. All you have to do, buddy, is go into a shopping mall and think that you're the prize, and women will be magically attracted to you. Okay? Go out and do it.
What I do is I get them to chase me. So women who I've dated,
the only way he's going to get women to chase him is if he's paid them to chase him, and then he'll pretend that it's real.
Have said that they picked me up. Of course, no one believes them. I'm the pickup artist, right? From
You're a bullshit artist and you're a rejection artist.
The TV show.
Yeah.
And they still say that they picked me up. Is it just a frame that I've set, or did they really pick me up? Right? Is it gaslighting if I structure the opportunity for them to pursue me so that they will believe that they picked me up by playing hard to get?
All right, gentlemen. It doesn't matter how ugly you are, how fat or balding, or what ethnicity you are, all that stuff. You just got to You just got to go up to a random woman that wouldn't piss on you when you're on fire, and just just open her, neg her a few times, and play hard to get. Load of shit this cunt's talking, and that's going to make her attractive. Once again, it just goes back to the bullshit fallacy that you can act and talk in a certain way as to invoke attraction in a woman. You cannot do that. It doesn't work that way. As I said in my last PUA roasting, if it worked that way, this stuff's been out for 20 years. Every straight man in the world, everyone would be doing it. If it was that easy, every bloke would be getting laid every night of the week. And that's not the case. We're living in the middle of a loneliness epidemic. Every minute that goes on, these cunts just piss me off. I shouldn't have said that word. Sorry, YouTube. These rejection artists piss me off more and more.
It's just the better game plan, in my opinion. I'd rather have them gaming me, showing interest and trying to win me over, and I'm playing hard to get, at least for a spell until they win my heart, win me over, than the opposite. Because then I'm playing man hands. Then I'm putting my hand on her knee where she could push it off. And then I put my hand back on her knee and she pushes it off again. Why not take her hand, put it on your knee, and say, that's all you get?
Oh, here we go. That's not the first time I've heard him say this little pickup line. That's all you're getting for now. I mean, I'll guarantee you that has never, ever, ever worked in the fucking history of anyone trying that stupid bloody line. It's not a new line. He came out with this about 15 years ago. That once you go up and start talking to a woman, and then grab her hand and hold her hand, and then wait 10 seconds, literally throw her hand away and say, that's all for now. If you're a good girl, you'll get some more later, or something corny like that. Oh mate. Please, gentlemen, don't go out and do this stuff. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And these guys are the master of bullshit. I don't know how they make up some of this stuff sometimes. It's an absolute joke, mate. It's just, you're going to get a first-class ticket to jail. You're just going to be in the big house, mate, if you go up to random girls and try this stuff. It's just so cringe and bullshit. It doesn't work. I mean, if you're like me, you've seen all the infield videos that are out there, and it just doesn't fucking work. If you're not getting choosing signals, it's binary. It is over. It's on or it's off.
You see the different frame?
Right.
It's a different narrative arc, getting her to pursue you. I prefer that one.
See, as a man, you aren't in control of the narrative or the frame, or how you are not in control over how a woman sees you or feels about you. You've got no say in it.
Yeah, I think it's. To his credit, I will actually cite sources here. Orion Terabin was the one who was talking about the adorer and the adoree. And it's always better to be the adoree in that sense. And that's kind of like what you're talking about here is like being the one that is pursued. This also goes back to a concept that old school guy Royce used to talk about. Is it's the 2/3 rule, meaning that if she gives you 3 kisses, you give her 2. You know, like there's always just a slight.
Here we go. More emotional manipulation tactics here off these dickheads. All this stuff does not work. It's a waste of fucking time. Any guy that's got initial interest off a lady, trying this stuff here is a waste of your time. You know, unfortunately, I don't think any of these idiots are going to be stopped. They just aren't going to be. This stuff's just going to go on. As long as there's suckers out there buying this stuff, these jokers here will be out there selling all these ridiculous pickup lines. And the worst part of it, like I always say, is that when it doesn't work, they turn around and blame you and tell you it's your fault. It's not your fault. The woman either likes the look of you or she doesn't. It's all about the looks. It's all about the looks.
It is, you know, to keep her coming to you as opposed to like you're the one, so that the energy is, for lack of a better term, the energy is going back towards her as opposed to is it coming back towards you.
Don't hit on a girl to the point of creating discomfort.
I could pause this every 2 seconds really and interject. If you go and hit on a girl that isn't giving you choosing signals first, you are going to create discomfort. These guys are as dumb as doornails. Well, they're not really. They're actually quite clever in the scam they've got going, but just don't listen to any of this stuff and take it as gospel. It's all bullshit.
And if you accidentally do, make her comfortable again and be cognizant of her reaction to her discomfort, right? You have to. That's what I'd call micro-calibration.
Oh, perfect time for an ad, you dickhead.
AGL's power on guarantee. Your electricity is on the day you move.
Oh, come on.
They do that.
How much easier could
don't
your
want to
move
get
be with
music
AGL's
copyright
power on
strike,
guarantee?
so I'll talk through the ad.
Morning.
Two ads.
If you're looking for some
Fuck
extra
it.
energy
Two
to
ads,
kickstart
two
the day,
ads, two
try
ads.
Blackmore's Energy B12 Wrappy Melts. High potency, great
Just press the
tasting,
skip button,
and
gentlemen.
it just melts in your
Just
mouth.
tap the
Take your
phone and
vitamins while you take on the
tap
day.
the phone and skip
Get
all this
it at
shit.
Chemist Warehouse.
Yeah, that's a
I
lot.
want to go back here.
Cognizant of her reaction to her discomfort, right? You have to. That's what I'd call micro-calibration.
Here we go. Micro calibration. That's another, woo-woo bloody gobbledygook word they just pulled out of their ass. See, if you were ever to ever find a copy of this mystery method, or come across any material from any of these wankers, you'll see about 20 or 30 different phrases like that you're meant to learn and just know off by heart, know exactly when to pull them out, to do these certain routines and say these lines. And once again, if you don't do them in order exactly when you're meant to, you're going to fail and it's going to be your fault. It's not the material, it's not the fact that PUA is a scam. It's the fact that you didn't do it right. How is that for manipulation? What did you say? Calibration. So it's basically like being congruent, being knowing. It's basically being calibrated. They're referring to like knowing what to do in a certain time, in a certain period during the seduction, which doesn't exist because you're either found attractive or you're not the moment you lay eyes on each other. So it's just like another manipulation tactic for them to say it's your fault. All this stuff is just smoke and mirrors. Well, he used to be a magician. So it's all smoke and mirrors, and that's all this stuff is: calibration, holding frame. It's all bullshit for them to turn around and say, hey, you mustn't have been holding frame, otherwise you would have picked her up. It's just so they don't have to give you your money back. That's all this shit is. All them fancy terms and things you got to memorize. It's just pure scam so they don't have to refund your money when this shit doesn't work.
Yeah, That's a
I wrote a
lost
book on
and that
it,
is
yeah.
a lost art right now. Is calibrating. A lot of the stuff that you talked about in calibrating, and I've heard Owen talk about this too. I took that and I turned that into what I call incongruency. Like not like when somebody sees me or they see you or they see Kyle or they see like The Rock, or like I'm just going to use celebrities here. Like The Rock. The Rock is huge, right? He's a bodybuilder, bald-headed guy. What if you see a guy that looks like that? It doesn't have to be The Rock, but a guy that looks like that, you have a certain psychological expectation of what that guy's voice is going to sound like, what his mannerisms are going to sound like. Is he going to be sort of intimidating? Is he going to be extroverted? Is he like, because a guy who presents himself like that, we have certain preconceived concepts of what that guy's going to look like. Now, if The Rock comes up to you and he's wearing a tutu, like a pink tutu, like he was in like the Tooth Fairy or something like that, and he starts speaking with a lisp, that throws the congruency of what you were thinking he was going to be like. And so now he's kind of a little bit fey and he's a little bit effeminate and stuff, and it's not what you were expecting at all from a guy who presents himself as The Rock, right? And so, but I'm using that as the most extreme example. So like when
preconceived notions.
Yeah, preconceived notions. And so when we see certain people, you see a guy in a 3-piece suit, you have a certain expectation of that guy. It's one of the things I talk about with the guys who are in my Reignite group, and they tend to be older. And so I'm like, play to your strengths, right? When a woman sees you and you're 40 plus years old, they're going to think that you have your shit together to some degree, right? Because an older man is supposed to be a better judge of character, have more money, have seen more of life, have more life experiences and those kinds of.
Yeah. As I usually say, like these rejection wankers here are like a broken clock. They're going to get the time right twice a day. Some of the stuff they're going to say is going to make sense. Like, yeah, like if you are like an older bloke or just any, if you want to kind of show that you got your shit together, yeah, wear a suit if you want. But if you've got an ugly face, you're just going to be an ugly bloke in a suit. Wearing a suit isn't going to increase your chances. If you don't want to look like a bum off the street or something, yeah, go out and wear a suit if you want. But yeah, it's not going to be some miracle game changer that's going to get you laid.
You see these wisdom lines?
Yeah.
They never slowed me down.
Yeah. And
Wisdom
I'm not saying,
lines
and like for me, like when people see me, like I'm 57 years old, and when people see me, they're expecting me to like they don't not dress like this,
To
not
act your age.
act your age, or to like, why are you wearing Metallica t-shirts? What are you, 14 years old, and all this stuff? Imagine being his age and playing in a band. Blah, blah, blah.
They're like, just operating from a place
because
of
that's all
pain.
you're ever going to be able to do is imagine it. But
imagine.
But the thing is, I'm like, but that got me thinking about like congruency, like between like how we present ourselves, and that's not just in our appearance, but it's how we talk, how we like project ourselves.
Sure.
A lot of the guys in my group, they struggle with talking like this all
Delivery
the time.
problems.
And I'm like, dude, speak up.
See, Roller just said talking like this all the time. It's exactly how Mystery talks. You're not meant to talk like this, but Mystery's got one of the weirdest. Just listen to his laugh. He's got one of the weirdest laughs I've ever bloody heard, mate. This guy must have creeped so many women out back in the day. So many women. And as we all know, he's about fucking 6'5" tall. Not a bad looking bloke. He would have had some success. I'm sure of it. I am sure he would have had some success with attractive women. And he probably still has some now because, he's somewhat well known and he's got a lot of money. So, oh no, but it's never money, it's never height, it's never a good looking face that gets you laid. It's like I always make fun of in the other videos. It's not Chad himself that's getting laid. It's the way Chad acts. It's his confidence, his dominance, how he holds frame that gets him laid. It's not his piercing good looks. Like fuck, it isn't.
And like everybody in the group, like if that guy has a problem like amplifying his voice, we say speak up until he'll start speaking up.
That's right.
Until you do it all the goddamn time. Right?
Another part of delivery is smiling on the open. When you first initiate the conversation, smile, talk loud, talk slowly, be heard, right?
Yeah.
That's.
And when he said smile when you're talk to her later. That's probably the only thing that's made sense so far, the only logical thing to do. It's like I always say, the best way to figure out if a girl likes you or not is to just make brief eye contact and chuck her a little smile. And if you get a smile back, if you get some puppy dog eye, if you get some choosing signals, then go ahead and talk to her. If not, leave her alone, because she doesn't like you, and you cannot create attraction. I don't care what these guys say. I don't care what they do. There's no such thing as in invoking attraction in a lady.
It's all going under delivery. And your delivery will improve if you can run stories that you know. A lot of guys tell a story that is maybe the event has just occurred, right? And they can't.
With the help of
My
Zero
Godfather
software, I've got
ads.
the right information at my fingertips.
So business is a breeze. And I've got
Once again, I don't want to get copyrighted. Just fast forward through it. Fast forward through it.
If you've got heartburn,
Mate,
try this
YouTube
Gaviscon
love
chewing
giving
gum.
me ads, I'll tell you that. YouTube love giving me
Gaviscon
ads.
works fast to neutralize acid in the stomach.
I think they desperately want
good.
me to
New
buy
great tasting
premium.
Gaviscon chewing gum.
Desperately.
Verbalize. A lot of guys tell a story that is maybe the event has just occurred, right? And they can't verbalize the story properly without ums, ahs, pregnant pauses, or awkward pauses, right?
See, these fuckwits here just contradicted themselves here, because a lot of these guys say now, oh, just go out and be natural as long as you hold frame and are congruent. Just say whatever's on your mind. You don't have to have canned material or have a great bloody saga to tell them. It's just use situational conversation starters and that. They contradict themselves all the bloody time.
So what I recommend they do is run material or stories that they've run before. Like go out in a night and run your stories all night long. Get good at them, because critically, a woman of particular quality is going to come along. She's going to be in a group, and you're going to have to critically be able to open and run that set, that set of people, right? Get good at your gambits, and you can focus then on the delivery of your gambits.
A gambit. Here we go. So these gambits are like these they teach them in the book called The Game and in his thing. It's they're basically these like opinion opener things, which does absolutely nothing to convey anything or build attraction. And I used to do these too. As I said, I've probably walked up and talked to more girls than this dickhead's bloody done in his life. And so they teach you to go up and say, oh, how you going, guys? You've got to give a time constraint. So you open them like they say, walk up to a table, clap your hands real loudly, say, hey guys, I can't stay for too long, but before I go, I've got to ask you a quick question. Who do you think lies more, men and women, men or women? And I've done that, and it's kind of actually created a little bit of conversation. I've created a little bit of conversation. I've stayed for 5 to 10 minutes and chatted with a group of girls. Were any of them attracted to me? No. Did I get any results from it? No. So, but they're going to tell me it's my fault. Maybe I wasn't congruent enough, or maybe I wasn't calibrated. Maybe I had to do 10 warm-ups before I went up to that. So I just wasn't warmed up enough. As I said, everything is your fault, so you never come back and ask for your money back. That's all this is about.
Game pieces.
And I like how you use the term gambits instead of like lines or routines or scripts or something like that. Because gambits give it a little bit more wiggle room, so you can like modify things. If a part of that story doesn't.
Gambits, pick-up lines, shit, car. It's the same fucking thing, mate. Pick-up lines and gambits don't work.
Toss it out and put something else in.
Yeah, a gambit is a story. It could be an opener, a DHV story, demonstration of higher value story, or
the old DHV. Haven't heard that one in a while. Demonstrate high value. So you tell a story that incorporates it somehow that you're a high status male. So just an example off the top of my head would be Oh, you wouldn't believe it. I've been driving this shitbox car around all day. You know, I've been getting, you know, I've got my Mercedes in to get a sports kit put on it, but they give me this shitbox to drive around all day in. Now, that's a DHV little story. That's, you know, and it comes across as like a natural story. Once again, it does. I'm not saying it does anything for a track. It does absolutely nothing. The only thing it might do is maybe pique the interest of a gold digger that's nearby. But saying that you drive around in a Mercedes, oh yeah, my Mercedes is getting a body kit, I've got to drive this shit heap around. It breaks down every 5 minutes. It's you telling a bullshit story that's meant to convey high status, but or oh, you wouldn't believe it. I'm so knackered, which means I'm so tired tonight. I was at this party in what you know Melbourne CBD. You know, there was AFL players there. You know, it was just crazy. You know what them players are like? It was crazy. This and this and that. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It really is as black and white is as a lady either finds you physically attractive or it's game over. It really is. It really is, man. The BP just speaks so much truth. Unlike these dickheads here. Oh, geez, I wish these guys still weren't sprouting this crap because the damage is still into so many men, especially younger guys that believe this stuff, especially in today's climate where you know the ladies are the women out there take no shit from men. If they even think that you're thinking about harassing them in any way, you're straight to HR, straight to the police. What you know, they'll dox you, they'll come and cancel you. It's really a dangerous thing to be teaching guys that you can just cold approach, walk up to any woman that you fancy, and say a magical set of lines and hold frame and do all this stuff and create attraction, and then you're going to run off and live happily ever after. As I said, if it was that easy, every guy'd be doing it. Every time you went outside, there'd be some sub 5, 3 out of 10 guy chatting up a 6 out of 10 Stacey Light. It doesn't work.
A bragging story. Mm-hmm. It could be an instant value demonstration like singing or magic, right?
An instant value demonstration. Now, you've followed me for a while. You mentioned singing there. I used to sing and play lead guitar in a pub rock cover band. And I'd done that for about 4 or 5 years, and not once did I get laid from doing that. I got a little bit of female attention here and there, but it was never anything. It was, as I said, the only attention I've ever gotten is like from women 10, 15 years older, land whales, basically, that I'm in no way attracted to. Or it'd be guys coming up saying, oh yeah, where'd you get your guitar? I've got this guitar. People just talk your ear. You're trying to rest your voice in between sets, and guys just come and talk your ears off. He mentioned magic. I learned about 5 magic tricks. I actually bought a book on magic. I might even get on camera and show you the magic tricks just for something to do, just for the sake of making a video, really. And as I said, I used to go out with tarot cards, decks of cards. I used to have a mate that we were both in on it, in on the little tricks that we were doing, and I'd have cards appear in here and making coins appear out of nowhere, all that stuff. It never once got me laid. It doesn't fucking work. And these dickheads here will turn around and tell me, oh, you mustn't have been holding frame. Oh, did you give her enough eye contact? Oh, you didn't neg enough. You forgot the time constraint. You didn't socially calibrate before you went over. All this just mental bullshit. Anything to distract you from the fact that PUA and game and alpha gurus and all that shit doesn't work.
Or comedy. It could be a qualifier question, asking questions to the woman to get her to invest. Or it could be comfort building material. Imagine having several gambits for each of the phases in pickup so you can fill the timeline and build consistency in your pickups. Mm-hmm. It's almost like a superpower. See the girl, get the girl. Mm-hmm. But you take it in slow, solid phases. Don't skip phases, right? And you can create...
Don't skip it, boys, otherwise it's your fault. Remember, when you fail, it is always your fault. Never the pickup artist's fault. Always your fault.
A mutual attraction. It's an art form.
That's funny you say
Beautiful art.
skip phases. In the player's handbook, I mentioned the fact that a lot.
Mate, I've seen Chad walk straight up to a Sheila and start making out with her, and then within 10 minutes, he's taken her home. How many of these fucking phases do you reckon he skipped to do that? Fucking, I'm not even going to watch the rest of this. These guys are fucking clowns. Fucking cocksuckers of the bloody highest variety. I'm going to leave this. I can't stand any more of these dickheads. If you're watching Master Yoda, if you want to, feel free to bloody put your take on these clowns. I've had a gutful of these dickheads. Can't take any more. So, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, and all the good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.